Magnemite was close to non-existent in the Mr. Mime and Raichu eras of GCNU. It saw some sporadic usage in the Mr. Mime metagame since it was the only Steel type, but it was generally outclassed by Pikachu. It was slow, frail and easy to revenge kill with any ground attack. Then when Raichu dropped, Magnemite was completely unviable, being entirely outclassed and hard countered by Raichu itself. Magnemite floundered as an unviable Pokemon for over a year, having absolutely no reason to be used when Raichu existed. When Raichu was banned, things improved a lot for Magnemite, but I was still rarely seen for the first few months of GCNU. Chinchou was the little cup electric type that was on everyone's radar, not Magnemite. Around the time of the first GCPL in late 2020, though, people finally realised the massive potential that Magnemite had. It wasn't just good, it was arguably one of the best Pokemon in the entire metagame. Magnemite has the same special attack stat as Xatu, the premier special attacker in GCNU, but it can actually be even stronger than it by using Thunder. Magnemite is almost impossible to reliably switch into in GCNU. GCNU is not a tier equipped to handle strong electric attacks, and Magnemite took advantage of that well. The tier's ground types took heavy damage from Hidden Power Ice. The grass types are actually hard countered by Magnemite due to its steel typing, and especially bulky Pokemon like Wigglytuff and Ninetales still took a lot from Thunder. The best two counters to Magnemite are Ninetales and Pupitar, and both Pokemon are still 3 KO'd. Magnemite is the only legal steel type in GCNU, which grants it resistances to all of Psychic, Normal and Flying, as well as a Poison immunity. This lets Xatu switch into one of the most common Pokemon in GCNU, Xatu, and use it as an opportunity to fire off Thunders. It also gives Magnemite a solid matchup against non-hidden power Fearow and Gloom, and also a good matchup against Cursed Wigglytuff and Dunsparce. Dugtrio was one of the best Pokemon in GCNU, and it instantly KOs Magnemite with Earthquake, but Dugtrio is in return hit to a KO by Hidden Power Ice. Xatu and Dugtrio are very often paired together, and when Xatu switches into Magnemite, it can just freely click Hidden Power Ice to heavily chip an incoming Dugtrio, since Xatu does not want to stay in on Magnemite at all. Being able to switch into the most common Pokemon in the tier, force it out, and do insane damage to most of the tier is an amazing niche. Magnemite is a pain for Xatu plus Dugtrio offenses, since they usually just have Dugtrio to switch into Mag, and Dugtrio still takes a lot from Hidden Power Ice. Magnemite is just incredibly hard to switch into, since GCNU is just really bad at taking on strong electric types. Magnemite's main attacking move, in Thunder, also has a nasty 30% paralysis rate, which can ruin Pokemon like Magmar, Rapidash and Primeape that might switch into Magnemite and force it out. Thunder can also force Pokemon like Roar Rest Ninetales to rest, which can be taken advantage of by Magnemite's teammates. Magnemite's primary set is a Rest Talk set with Thunder and Hidden Power Ice, as this allows Magnemite to switch into Pokemon like Xatu and Fearow with ease in longer games. It can also absorb Gloom's Sunspore, further annoying the Grass type. A Substitute plus Agility set used to be quite popular too. It ran Thunderbolt more than Thunder, and was most commonly seen on Growth plus Baton Pass teams. Magnemite could pose a real late game sweeping threat by setting up an Agility at +1, which lets it outspeed Pokemon like Sandler and Dugtrio that would otherwise outspeed and OHKO it. Speaking of being OHKO'd though, that is the biggest problem that Magnemite faces. Several Pokemon, such as Kingler, Statler, Fearow and sometimes Gloom, run Hidden Power Ground or Earthquake, which absolutely destroys Magnemite. Fire and Fighting are other common attacking types in GCNU that Magnemite wants nothing to do with. While Magnemite can 2-KO Dugtrio, it still has to predict right and Hidden Power Ice in the switch. It can be difficult if the opposing team pairs Dugtrio with Pokemon like Magmar, which can force prediction wars. This can be made worse if Magnemite is asleep, since Sleep Talk now only has a 33% chance to pull Hidden Power Ice. To compound this, Magnemite is pretty slow, which can make it easier to revenge kill. While Magnemite's typing is great defensively, its defensive stats can sometimes fall flat. For example, it can take Explosion from Weezing or Pineco well at all, despite resisting it.